arts, culture, and entertainment in the Coachella Valley. This is The Desert Scene with Bonnie G. from the Mutual Broadcasting System. Here's Bonnie.
And welcome to The Desert Scene. Happy to have you here, and very happy to welcome back a veteran guest, a buddy of mine, very talented guy, Jerome Elliott, who is the artistic director for Desert Ensemble Theater Company, and they are opening a really interesting sounding play called Elliott on March 8th. Hi, Jerome, how are you?
Hi, Bonnie. I'm well. How are you?
Good. So tell us about this story.
This is a play by Bruce Bonafide. He's a local, very well-respected playwright. It is a story of two senior brothers, I should say, who come back from the funeral of one of their wives and sit down and begin an afternoon of drinking. And over the course of the afternoon, a lot of secrets about their relationship, the relationship of both of them with the deceased wife, and resentment, say, from childhood. So we have like 70 years of a brother's life coming head to head in this moment of grief. And I don't want to give too much of it away because there's a lot of suspense. What happens at the end of Act One will leave you going, I didn't see that coming, and you really want to come back from intermission to see how this resolves in Act Two.
And this is the world premiere, correct?
Yes, it is. It was written. Bruce actually wrote it for Richard Marlowe, who has acted with us before, and he's an actor and director here in the Coachella Valley, very well known. And he wrote the play for Richard to play the role of Richard.
Wow.
And then Abe Daniels, an actor from the High Desert, who's making his Palm Springs debut with us, is playing his brother Warren.
And now, is Ellie the name of the deceased wife, or is that something we shouldn't know? Okay.
Ellie is the name of the character who is really kind of the action revolves around her and her unfortunate demise.
And now tell us about the process that you guys go through, Desert Ensemble Theater Company, of choosing plays for the season.
Well, we're in a very fortunate position in that we've become known as a theater that produces new work. So over the past few years, I've started getting a lot of unsolicited submissions. This, of course, was given to me by Richard Marlowe because he had done a reading of it. He wanted to bring it to my attention. I also do a lot of research online. I look at what other small theater companies have been doing recently around the country. We like to look at off-Broadway and off-Broadway because we're kind of the quirky theater company in Palm Springs. We do things that are sort of off the beaten path. You're not going to find us doing a big well-known musical or Neil Simon or Arthur Miller, who are wonderful playwrights, but there's a lot of other companies here in the desert who do that. So we try to distinguish ourselves by finding something unique and a little different.
And tell us, a veteran actor, director, and playwright, Howard Shangra, am I pronouncing it? He's directing this, correct?
Shangra. That's correct. Howard is now the director of the conservatory program at CD Rep, and he's worked in the film industry. He's worked on stage a lot. He's a master at this, and the whole play involves two men sitting in a room with two overstuffed chairs that you might find in someone's house from a certain generation, and it's amazing how much tension and suspense you can get out of that situation, and Howard's doing a marvelous job directing these two actors.
I was just going to ask you, because, I mean, both you've acted and directed. Taking on that challenge, that's a challenge when you have just a two-person play, although you don't want it to just be talking heads, because that can get, you can lose. You want to make sure you keep your audience's attention all the way through. Tell us how have you ever directed something with just two people before yourself?
Yes, I did. Back in 2016, I directed A Number by Carol Churchill, which was a 1-hour play about human cloning, and was a father who has to tell his son that 19 years ago he had given him to the hospital to be cloned, and the hospital, unbeknownst to him, cloned 19 different versions.
Oh, my gosh.
So there's 19 of him running around, and Sean Abramowitz, our executive director, who's also a wonderful actor,
he is.
played the son and two of the clones. And so, but it was really only to him and the actor playing the father, Jim Anderson, on stage. And that was magnificent. I had the best time directing them and seeing what they brought to the table for that.
And go ahead.
So, you can have 20 characters, you can have 2 characters. As long as it's well written, the audience is they're going to go along for you on the journey with you.
And tell us about the journey of, and you since you took over as artistic director, Desert Ensemble Theater Company. How is it evolving, and what do you see sort of as your mission for the next couple seasons with the theater?
Well, as you know, Tony Padilla founded this company in 2011, and he led it all the way through, doing the math here, 2018. And Tony established it as a theater where people, local talent, can bring their ideas and their projects and have a laboratory for them and to kind of explore their dreams. Now, as we've grown, we've moved from the Palm Springs Women's Club into the Palm Springs Cultural Center, and we're getting a bit of a larger audience. We're tending to not only listen to the artists who want to work with us, but also listening to our audience and finding out what we've produced that they really like and that they'd like to see more of. So I am, for example, last year we did a play called Kafka's Joke about the life and work of Franz Kafka. Yeah. Thank you. And it was one of our most successful plays ever. Last month, we closed The Lifespan of a Fact, which was a wonderful play about the fact-checking process. And that just blew all of our box office records out of the water. So we're really trying to follow that path of these quirky plays that people might not have heard of, but really deserve wider viewing. Yeah. So that's how I say our mission is going to proceed going forward.
And I believe, as I recall, there are some plans in the works to actually expand the physical, do some remodeling of the theater and the backstage area. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, we are we're in residence of the Palm Springs Cultural Center, and we've been there since October 2021, and the Cultural Center is in the middle of a capital campaign trying to raise money to create better backstage facilities, not just for Theater 3, which is one of the small movie theaters where we are. This used to be the Camelot theaters, but also for Theaters 2 and the large Theater 1. For example, right now when they bring a big act into Theater 1, they have to have a huge RV in the back as a dressing room. So they would like to build up the back of the building for all 3 theaters to have better dressing rooms, restroom facilities, just to make it a more versatile facility for the community.
Yeah, and now that this season, how many more productions do you have after Ellie for this
Ellie
season?
is our 3rd, and then we close with another new work by Tony Padilla. It's our 9th Tony Padilla work that we've, because he's very prolific. It's called Sherlock Holmes Confidential, and as you, of course, were in a staged reading of this a couple of summers ago.
Great fun.
At the Palm Springs Cultural Center upstairs. Yeah, we did have great fun with that, and you were wonderful in the role, and I'm very sorry that you weren't available to come back and do it again. But I have cast the play, and I'll be directing it. That goes into rehearsal March 10th.
Excellent.
March 12th, and opens April 12th.
Super.
And, that's a play about Sherlock Holmes as a young man who knows absolutely nothing about what he's trying to do as a private detective. He's kind of bumbling, and it's very funny.
It is very, very funny. All right, so Ellie opens, again, it centers on 2 older men, brothers, who are grieving the death of one of their wives. Their mourning sparks a confrontation that lays bare their lifelong love-hate relationship and leads to shocking actions and changes their lives forever. Opens March 8th. It's, of course, performed in Theater 3 at the Palm Springs Cultural Center, which is located at 2300 East Barista Road, if you don't know. For tickets, you can go to www.desertensembletheater.org or call 760-565-2476. Jerome, Elliott, always a pleasure to have you on. Continued success.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thanks for being here. All right, thank you to Jerome, and the rest of you will see you the next time on The Desert Scene.
This program was produced by the Mutual Broadcasting System.